Okay, these are our rounding, adding, and subtracting test corrections. So when you get your blank test, you need to make sure that you have a red pen, and you need to make sure that you go through and you correct every single answer. Even if you got it right on the original test, I still want to see every correct answer worked out in a red pen, just like I do it in my blue pen. All right, number 1, Beatrice was making brownies and filled the bowl with 1 2500 cups of brownie mix, 1 cup of water, and 0.5 or 5/10 cup of oil. How many cups of ingredients did Beatrice add to the bowl? Okay, so we've got 1 2500, we've got 0.5, and then we have 1. Now we have to remember that this 1 is in the ones place, and since there's no decimal, we're just going to put a decimal there so it can line up with all our other decimals, and then we can put 0 for placeholders. Remember all our steps, and then we're going to add them together because it says how many cups of ingredients did she add to the bowl. Okay, so now let's add these two numbers together. 5 plus 0 is 5, so 5. 2 plus 5 is 7, and then 1 plus 1 is 2. Dropped on my decimal, so then my answer should have been 2 7500 cups. A lot of you missed adding the 1, or you only added 2 numbers and there were 3 numbers you had to add. Number 2, Evan scored 894 and 6800 points on a video game. His friend Gabriel scored 379 and 1600 fewer points than Evan. How many points did Gabriel score? Okay, so this word fewer is our key word here for subtraction. So when we subtract, we've got to make sure we put the larger number on top. So we've got 894 and 6800, and then we've got 379 and 1600. Okay, I'm going to take just a second and make sure my place values are lined up. Okay, so this is hundredths, tenths, ones, tens, hundreds. Okay, so everything's lined up, so now I can subtract. So 8 minus 6 is 2. 6 minus 1 is 5. Now 4 minus 9, I can't do that, I have to borrow, so this becomes 8, and this becomes 14. 14 minus 9, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, so that's 5. And then 8 minus 7 is 4. 8 minus 7 is not 4. I can't. Sorry guys, I can't think. 8 minus 7 is 1. And 8 minus 3 is 5. So then our answer is, we have to drop down our decimal. I almost forgot. That would have been is 515 and 5200. Okay, and so another thing that you had to make sure of is that you typed it incorrectly. So there were some that I saw that maybe they were able to subtract and got the correct answer, but they didn't type it incorrectly. Okay, so make sure that you're working very carefully on your subtraction and typing in your answers. Number 3, Carson bought a 34-pound bag of fertilizer for his yard. He used 7 8/10 pounds of fertilizer in his garden and 15 4/10 pounds in his front yard. How many pounds of fertilizer does he have left to use? Okay, so I know that these keywords right here, have left, are going to be subtraction. Okay, so he started with a 34-pound bag. Then he used 7 8/10, and then he used 15 4/10. So this is going to be a 2-step problem. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add 15 4/10 plus 7 8/10. Okay, remember I'm lining up my place values, lined up my decimals, make sure all that's correct before you start. 4 plus 8 is 12, carry my 1. 1 plus 5 is 6, 6 plus 7 is 13, carry that 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. Now drop down my decimal. Now a lot of you stopped there, okay? But it says he started with a 34-pound bag and he wants to know how much he has left after he used this much. So now we're gonna have 34, and we're gonna subtract 23 and 2/10 from that. Remember, when I'm subtracting, the larger number has to go on top. Okay, and I'm gonna line up my decimals and put a 0 here as a placeholder. Now I can't do 0 minus 2, right? So I gotta borrow, so this becomes 3, and that now is 10. 10 minus 2 is 8. I saw a lot of you just go 0 minus 2 is 2. No, make sure that you are borrowing and carrying correctly. Okay, then 3 minus 3 is 0, and 3 minus 2 is 1. Drop down my decimal. 10 and 8. Dolly, no! Sorry, my dog. 10 and 8/10 pounds is the correct answer. Tammy bought a corn dog for $6.25 and a funnel cake for $5.50. If she paid with a $20 bill, how much change did she receive? Okay, so we've talked a lot about if we ever see the word change, that we know that there's going to be some subtraction. Okay, but this is also a two-step problem because she bought a corn dog and a funnel cake. So we have to do that first. So we have 6 and 25, and then we have 550. So we're going to add those together first. So 5 plus 0 is 5. 2 plus 5 is 7. 6 plus 5 is 11. Drop down my decimal. Now we're going to subtract this amount from our 20. Okay, so we have 20, and then we have 11.75. Remember, $20, you have to add your own zeros, but line up your decimals. Okay, now this is another one of those where we have to subtract across zeros, so we have to do a lot of borrowing. All right, because I can't do 0 minus 5, so I have to go all the way, because there's nothing here, then there's nothing here, I have to go all the way down to this 2. Okay, then this is 10, I take 1 and it becomes 9. And this is 10 and I take 1 and it becomes 9, so that this can be 10. All right, so now I've got 10 minus 5 is 5, 9 minus 7 is 2, 9 minus 1 is 8, and 1 minus 1 is 0. Drop down my decimal. So my answer is $8.25. Okay, and I had to write it like that to make sure my decimal was correct. Okay, now let's look over here. Number 5, it says the table below shows Juanita's running time for 5 50-yard races. Okay, what was Juanita's total time for all 5 races? So you can see that we've got to add up all 5 of these. Okay, so let's come over here to the side, and we've got 11 and 9/10, 9 and 7/10, 8 and 8/10, 10 and 2/10, and 11 and 6/10. Okay, so let's start adding. All right, 9 plus 7, 16. 16 plus 8 is 24. 24 plus 2 is 26. 26 plus 6, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So then our 2 goes here, and we're going to carry that 3. So 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 plus 9, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 plus 8, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So 2 goes here, I carry this 2. Then 2 plus 1 is 3. Then 3 plus 1 is 4, and 4 plus 1 is 5. Then I have to make sure I drop down my decimal, and I should have 52 and 2/10, which is D. Number 6, a famous social media celebrity posted a new video that received 1,873,618 views in the first week. What is this number rounded to the nearest 10,000? Okay, so let's find the 10,000s place. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000. So that's at 7. So we're going to look next door at the 3, and we can see that 3 is 4 or less. So it's going to make that 7 rest. So we're not touching the 1, we're not touching the 8. The 7's gonna rest, and then everything else turns into 0. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. So then our rounded number should have been 1,870,000. Number 7. There are around 38,947 items in the local grocery store. Which point on the number line best represents this number rounded to the nearest thousand? Okay, so let's see. We've got thousands place. Look next door. The 9's going to raise the score, so it's going to make that 8 turn into a 9. And then it's going to be 39,000 is going to be our answer. All right, let's turn the page. Number 8. The American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas can seat 18,532 fans for a hockey game. If 4,622 seats were sold to the fans of a visiting team during their game, how many seats were remaining for the local fans? So we have 18,532, remember subtraction, because remaining, larger number has to go on top, minus 4,622. Okay, 2 minus 2 is 0. 3 minus 2 is 1. Can't do 5 minus 6, I have to borrow. That becomes 7. That becomes 15. 15 minus 6, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Okay, 7 minus 4 is 3, and 1 minus 0 is 1. 1, 2, 3, comma. So then my answer should be 13,910. Number 9, a popular food sold at the county fair is corn dogs. Look how many Sally sold last week alone. How many more corn dogs were sold on Friday and Saturday than on Sunday? Okay, so how many more? We know that that's keyword for subtraction, but look, it says Friday and Saturday than on Sunday, so we have to combine Friday and Saturday before we do anything with Sunday. So first we have to say 516 plus 886. 6 plus 6 is 12. Carry my 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 8 is 10. Carry my 1. 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 8 is 14. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I just wanted to double check myself. Okay, so then 1,402. So now we have to take this number, 1,402, and subtract 670 from it. Make sure we line up our place values. 2 minus 0, can't do that, gotta borrow, but there's nothing there. So this becomes a 3, this becomes a 10, but I gotta take away and make it a 9, so this can be a 12. No, sorry, completely did that wrong. Don't write down what I wrote down. I'm sorry, y'all. It's late and my brain is fried. So I had 1,402 minus 670. 2 minus 0 is 2. Hopefully some of y'all caught that and we're like, whoa, Miss Hall. Okay, now 0 minus 7. Can't do that, so I have to borrow it. So this becomes 3 and this becomes 10. 10 minus 7 is 3. Okay, now I can't do 3 minus 6, so I have to take 1 from here, and 13. 13 minus 6 is 7. So then my answer should have been 732. Okay, I know sometimes you get confused and your brain kind of shuts down and just does like I just did. I said, oh, I can't do 2 minus 0, but then I stopped and was like, wait, something's not right. Okay, you always got to double check it and go back and look and make sure it's right. Number 10, Joseph was training for a 5K run. He ran 4 9/10 kilometers on Monday and 4 56/100 kilometers on Tuesday. How many total miles did he run? So we know the total means at. Now, this is extra info. They were just trying to trick you. So you just need to know that he's got 4 9/10 and 4 56/100, and we've got to add those two together. Okay, I'm going to put a 0 here as a placeholder. 0 plus 6 is 6. 9 plus 5 is 14. Carry the 1. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. Drop down my decimal, so it should have been 9 and 46 hundredths should be your total. Okay, number 11 says the location and lengths of 3 of the longest tunnels in the world are listed: the Gothard Base Tunnel, the Seacon Tunnel, and the Channel Tunnel. What is the difference? Okay, we talked about that word a whole lot. That means subtract, between the lengths of the Channel Tunnel and the lengths of the Gothard Base Tunnel. So we're looking at this one and this one. This is extra, we don't need it. All right, so the difference means subtract, so I've got to put the larger number on top. So I've got 57 7/100ths, and then I've got 50 and 45. I'm subtracting because of the word difference. 7 minus 5 is 2. 0 minus 4, can't do that. Got to go over here and borrow. 6, 10. 10 minus 4 is 6. 6 minus 0 is 6. And then 5 minus 5 is 0. Drop down my decimal. 6 and 62 hundredths kilometers, which is C. Number 12, Lindsay purchased 1 pet carrier that cost $21.89 and 2 bags of cat food that cost $16.49 each. What was the total? All right, so we know total means plus, but we have to pay attention because she has 2 of this number. So we should have $16.49 plus $16.49. 9 plus 9 is 18, carry the 1. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. 6 plus 6 is 12, carry the 1. 1, 2, 3. Okay, drop down my decimal, 32.98. But don't forget that she also bought that pet carrier for $21.89. So we're gonna make sure we add the $21.89. There were 3 things we had to add in this problem. All right, 8 plus 9 is 17, carry the 1. 1 plus 9 is 10. 10 plus 8 is 18, carry the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. Then 3 plus 2 is 5. Drop down my decimal, should be $54.87. So let's see, that's A. Number 13, there are 2 hiking trails in a park. Trail Y is 2 7/10 miles long. Trail Z is 5 84/100 miles long. What is the total of these 2 hiking trails? Okay, so we know the total. It's telling us to add. All right, so we've got 2 7/10, 5 84/100. Okay, make sure everything's lined up. I'm gonna put a 0 as a placeholder here. 0 plus 4 is 4. 7 plus 8 is 15. Carry my 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 5 is 8. Drop down my decimal, and my answer should be 8 and 54/100. And this was one of those that you had to type in. And a lot of you typed in 854, or you typed in, you didn't make sure that you put the 8 in the ones place, and the 5 in the tenths place, and the 4 in the hundredths place. Okay, got to make sure you pay attention to that. All right, last page. 14, the population of Orange County is 3,151,723. What is this number rounded to the nearest 100,000? All right, so 100,000 is right here, this 1. So we're gonna look next door at this 5, and the 5 is gonna make the 1 become a 2. So I'm not gonna do anything to the 3. That's gonna become a 2. Now everything else is gonna be a 0. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm sorry, I know my arrow looks like it's pointing to the 1, but it's really pointing to the 5. The very first 1 is the 100,000s place. So my rounded number should be 3,200,000. Number 15, round 3,434,618 to the given place. So it says first round it to the thousands place. Okay, so let's find the thousands place, which is the 4. Look next door at the 6. 6 is more than 5. It's going to make that become a 5. So then we have 3,435,000 100,000 is gonna be that one, which is this one right here. So we're using that one right there. Okay, and all you had to do is drag on yours. Okay, so the 100,000th place. So now we're looking at the 4. We're gonna look next door at the 3. The 3 is gonna make that 4 stay the same. So we have 3,400,000, which is gonna be this one right here. And then the last one says the tens place, which is this 1. So we're gonna look at our 8, and then that's gonna make that one become a 2. So we don't do anything to the 3, 4, 3, 4. Then we have 6, 2, 0. So it's this last one up here. All right, and then the bonus says, which statement is true about the following numbers? All numbers round to 6,900 when rounded to the nearest 100. So look at the hundreds place, look next door. That 9's gonna make that 9 go up. So that would already be rounded. So no, it's not A. All numbers round to 7,000 when rounded to the nearest 1,000. So let's look at the thousands place. 6, look next door. Yes, 9 makes that become the 7,000. Thousands place, look next door. 0 makes that stay. So yes, that's 7,000. Look at the thousands place, look next door. That 1 makes that 7 stay. So that's 7,000. And then the 6, look next door. The 7 makes that 6 become a 7. So yes. All right, I'm gonna put a little dot beside it because that's probably our answer, but I like to check all of them. All numbers round to 6,000 when rounded to the nearest 1,000. Well, no, because we just thought that one, so no, that can't be possible. And D says all numbers are greater than 7,500. Well, that's not true because look at the numbers. None of them are greater, so it's not D. So we know for sure that our bonus was B. All right, please make sure that you write down everything that I wrote down in your red pen and turn it back into your teacher.